Looking like I'm glowing in the dark right now. I don't know why. It's an interesting tone. Let's try something else here. Let's use something I don't normally use. Filters. But I think I'd like to use one today. I don't know why. This is a weird lighting. It's time of day, I guess. Anyways, hello. I'm Zen. You are you. Welcome. It's good to see you. I think I'll probably continue on with what I was talking about in my earlier show today. Do you ever do something that you've done a million times but it seems brand new? You know, those times where you go, oh, I should stop and smell the flowers or appreciate something, or just you're kind of confused or like, whoa, I'm doing this. Like you're very focused on the moment. So I haven't done a video for a week on this channel because it got shut down. So like coming back to it, I was like, how am I supposed to do this? What should I be talking about? Because during the time, obviously, I had a bunch of things that I wanted to make videos on, and I've been kind of just cooped up inside. Haven't really done anything the past week, really. Just chilling inside, playing the Dracula, or the, well, maybe not Dracula-like, although my skin would say otherwise. Maybe hermetic, perhaps. Anyway, so my earlier video was on magic and where it comes from, and this one I think will be about, what's up, Aaron Colborn? You got a Baby Yoda in your yard? That's wicked. Yeah, Baby Yoda is, I dig it. I dig it. It's I've never even seen, other than the memes or the memes or however you like to say it. I've never seen the movie. Never seen it. He's from the new one, right? I don't know anything about it. I'm more of a, if you didn't know, Stitch. You know, Stitchy, 626. That's my stuff. I am Stitch. Oh, you got the Yoda OG too? Yes, I was earlier today. I was watching Doctor and Master Shah. Like, it's Doctor and Master. It's the same person. He's a doctor and a master. Imagine that. And apparently, I didn't know this. He's like a 10-time New York Times bestseller. His channel's not very big at all, but anyways, he speaks about the Tao, and a lot of it is healing work through sounds and movement patterns and things. Is this too loud? Because this is copyright free. I'll turn it down a little bit though. And lately he's been doing healing work through calligraphy, which is on a large scale. He was speaking about how originally the Tao, however you like to say it, is the physical representation. The calligraphy itself is a physical representation of the Tao, and the Tao you can't. It's inexplicable. You can't touch it. It's unexplainable. It's not tangible. It's everything, you know. So you can't really show. You know, it's like pointing to the moon. Do you look at your finger? Do you look at the moon, or just out there? What is it? And so he uses calligraphy as explaining the patterns of motion that you'd go through to make the calligraphy connects you to that space, like being in the empty white room to create something where your mind is at stillness, the no mind, where you have no mind, and then you create whatever it is. So that's the essence of God, Tao, magic, and using calligraphy to connect to that. Much like, let's see, who does really cool work on it? This is somebody that uses, it's like feng shui for the body, and then somebody else that did a bunch of Dr. Ibrahim Karim, Ibrahim, Karim, Ibrahim Karim, and he does things on check him out. Check him out. I've put videos of his before and shown you guys what that's about. But that's basically how to organize energy in a space, but you don't see it. It's on a micro level, and so it's using an energy flow of the way that you'd paint something. It's one of my favorite movies ever is called Hero with Jet Li. That one, not the other Hero. Hero with Jet Li. And there's a part in the book, or the part in the movie, where they're talking about the intrinsic connection between the blade, the sword, and the pen. Or in their case, they were painting, they were drawing, they were doing calligraphy at a small scale, not like large stuff. I mean, they could obviously, but they were in a school and they were just talking about the connection between the motion that somebody makes as they're using a sword and what they would do to create calligraphy. Great movie, I highly suggest it. There's a scene in there. That's what we require, the red ink. If you know the movie, you know the scene. It's one of the greatest cinematic experiences you could ever have. If you got a big TV and sound system, go ahead and smoke something or do what you got and turn the lights off and enjoy. Hero is awesome movie on every level. Cinematic, like the colors, the whole scene, the dialogue, the storyline. Good stuff. So yeah, just the idea of the connection to bioacoustic resonance between spaces, between what you're taking out of the untangible, unknown realm, which is no one can know what is in your mind, what's in God's mind. I mean, it's everything, right? But you can't say everything. That makes you have to define it, and when you define the everything, it becomes structured into what we see as the devil plane, the physical world. It's bound together. You can't have one without the other. It's the empty space and then what you fill it up with. So the connection to using calligraphy and design to open up pathways back to self-centered nothingness, no mind, and using that as a way to express something. What's up, B. Johnson? Who's up in here? Oh, you have a pendulum you douse with? Dude, I've had some pretty cool pendulums, and when I first started using it, I was like, how obscene it was, how right it was. Like whenever I would do it on somebody else that had an energetic something, I would work on their chakras or whatever, and other things that's just like little questions that I couldn't possibly know. I was in no way able to influence it, and it would always be correct. So like this was getting to the last show a little bit. I was talking about using tarot. It's a tool, just like a dowsing rod or a pendulum to divine something, because the infinite knowing, from a subatomic particle level of everything. You're connected to the source. You have the in you is the immortal seed, the immortal cell, as it's put. The immortal cell by I forget the author right now. Highly suggest the book though. Look it up. Early night George Carey, perhaps. George Carey, The Immortal Cell, and a bunch of other really good books by him. Yeah, where was I going with that? So using where was I going? Using a dowsing rod or using tarot cards or whatever, they're tools of divination to connect you to whatever, just like a pyramid might be, or just like an image of Jesus or an image of Buddha, knowing that icon itself or that thing isn't it. It's not the tarot cards, it's not the dowsing, it's you doing it. It's like when Dumbo has the feather, Buddy Mine's got a feather on his arm because he really likes the line in the movie when Dumbo's like, he could fly if he had the feather, but then at the point in the movie they go, Dumbo, it's not the feather. So the feather is in the same way a divining tool, just like any object is, a rod, some cards. But that's part of the physical realm. That's what you get to play with. Why else would you be in this realm? to play around in it. There's mud, there's paint, there's art, there's music, there's food, there's other humans you can play with. Fun times. When you look at stars, they disappear. Interesting. What's up, B. Johnson? Is something like the ether? Yeah, I guess you could from a plasmic etheric standpoint. If we were to say it's all connected, if you were in a mass of soup, like yeah, it's a weaving, a web. It's all interconnected, in the sense like any it's the 100th monkey kind of thing. It's like if something happens on this island, all of a sudden these monkeys or these crows, even though they've never even interacted, they have they call it the morphogenetic resonance, or what they believe is there's some sort of layering of species where there's a divine matrix of the morphogenetic resonance of what's going on as a map, say in the case of homing pigeons. We've tested pigeons and to figure out how do they get to where they're going, how do they know where they're going and how to get back there, because they'll do weird things like put magnets near their head or blindfold them or move them somewhere else, but they'll always find where they need to go. And getting rid of all the variables, doing this for years and years, figuring out like the only way that they're figuring out where they're going is if they're bilocating with like using a map from the whole collective. So the collective consciousness was there, but they could still act individually. It's like a hive mind, but then it's the good part of the hive mind and the collective mind, but you still have an individuality that you can express. But you have access to the Akashic records and the hive records. Like if you're living in this linear fashion as an individual from the time that I was born till now, right? My seed, I could have infinite history as it branches off into the past, but I couldn't really know what's going on around me very much. Like I couldn't connect with all of the knowledge, except for just like a lot of people when you get those aha moments, or you're like, why am I thinking the same thing as you? Like it's telekinetic, because you're accessing that on some morphogenetic resonant scale. Like whether it's just like, oh, I vibe with you, I understand what you're thinking. You don't even need to say it. You don't even need to look at somebody sometimes. Usually it takes, when you look at somebody, you know what they're thinking. But yeah, morphogenetic resonance and the etheric, the aether plasma fields. Yeah. Whoa, that's awesome. Protection crystal grid with 6 quartz and some obsidian. Yeah, I often get obsidian, but whenever I'm out, I can always tell somebody needs it. Like I'll be having well, I think, do I have one on now? Oh yeah, I got my elephant and some obsidian. Well, I had a really fat one that somebody gave me, that somebody sent me as a gift, but then I was wearing it and somebody really they were like, oh, that's awesome. And I could tell they needed it. So I was like, here you go. So every time it's like even rings and shit that I've had. Anytime I get crystals on me, they're just like, gotta go that way. God, yeah. Yep, the B. Johnson. I've never heard of the wax in their nasal cavities, but I believe the original experiments that might have been part of that. I probably didn't read the entire experiment, but was it? I think it was the dude that had the TED Talk that was banned. One of the first banned TED Talks. Let me think of his name. I don't have it right now. If you just look up banned TED Talks, it's one of the first ones. You'll see him walking around. He's a doctor. They did I think it's called like the 10 weirdest things about science that you never question, but you should. I can see him. He's walking around barefooted, tall, lanky dude. Rupert Sheldrake. That's correct. That's the answer. That is the answer you're looking for. So what else should we get into here? Mental processes, habitual thinking, and how to change thought patterns. As simple as thought patterns are as habitual as anything else. If you can change some habit in your life, it's because you can do it in different directions. Either you'll change your thoughts because you start doing something different, or you start thinking different, so then you do something different. It can work in both directions. So if you feel stuck in the way that you think, it could be something as simple as move things in your apartment. So then you have to start thinking about where you're walking. And it'll give you just clues to start paying attention more to reality, to whatever it is. And then you could adjust what you're saying, because you would think different. You'd have to think, oh, I should not just blindly walk through this area of my house because I forgot. If you do, then you're gonna stub your toe. If you do, you're gonna trip over this, right? So you should often move little things around, keep you on your toes, keep you aware, focused. That way, it keeps your conscious mind forward rather than have your subconscious mind just. They say like the idle mind is the devil's playground, meaning that if your mind is too empty and you don't have any thoughts, then you have all of these other things that aren't yours coming into you. All of these ideas, these mantras that aren't yours. And you'll be like, why am I thinking that? Why do I believe? It's not. It's you don't believe it though. Start with the not believing it, because none of the thoughts are yours. Not one of them. Most people, I would say probably everybody. I don't know that anybody's had an original thought. Where do they come from? It seems to be life is just like here's a mistake that turned out to be a good one, and people are like, oh, that one worked, let's do that one. Everybody starts falling off a cliff. This person goes that way. That looks better than okay. A bunch of lemmings go that way, and we go that way, and then we continue. That's the only evolution we really had, was a conscious awareness evolution. No, there's no real physical evolution. It's a morphing. Morphing is not evolving, it's altering or changing. Could be better, could be worse, it could be anything. It's just morphing. It's like what's better or worse, a fish or a bear? For what? For swimming, or for eating all your honey and going through your garbage cans? Would you rather have dead fish in your garbage can, or a bear, little black bear running through and playing with your garbage cans? So these things that it's kind of like if you were a people watcher, or if you're more of a walking meditation type of person. So you have different types of meditation, and I prefer walking meditations. So that keeps me very aware and perceptive. As I'm walking, I'm paying attention. I'm just walking to walk and be like, oh, look at all the fun. I mean, I do that too, but consider it as your thoughts, as the people going by you. They're as random as anything. Now, if you walk the same path every day, you're probably going to notice the same people. You'll notice the same thoughts. Take a different path. I'll start observing the thoughts. You start observing the thoughts, you're like, where did it come from? That has nothing to do with me. How many times do you think the most ridiculous things throughout the day that have nothing to do with anything? Hey, there's a toaster flying over the seagulls. There's a Jolly Rancher that's shaped like a, you know what I mean? Like, what kind of weird shit goes through your head? I don't know. But where did that come? Where did that supplied from? Like some chemical thing? Is it some postulate from a great scientific journal from years ago? Was it some artwork that I seen? Somehow I've used synesthesia to take artwork and turn it into mathematics that I could smell. It's pretty much what's happening all the time. Where do you get your thoughts and ideas from? I don't know. So what do? If you like them, stick to them. and then take a step to manifest that if that's what you want. Why wouldn't you? Don't get stuck in the same thoughts that you've always had. That's troubling. We all get in the muck of thoughts that kind of wow 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 like just eat at you, but they're not yours. Your belief systems are bullshit. Your thoughts are just passing pigeons passing gas in the wind. You know what I mean? What's up, Troutman Martin? What you doing? Who do I know you as? Wait, I'm guessing. I think I know who that is by the picture. Although it's very small on here. Is that Carson? Hey Carson, that was you? What's up, Novel? What you doing? You scattered brain? Yeah, I've noticed that the more calm I am, like there is a certain amount of frantic scatterbrains that get magnetized to me because they're trying to find that calm. It's a really weird thing. It's like when you're on a high vibe and people radiate towards you, they gravitate towards you. If that's when you use gravitate, or magnetize, I think is a better word. Or vortex to you. It's like when you're a healer, broken people find you. It's just what happens. Like, why are you always surrounded by fucked up people? Is it because you're fucked up? Nah, that's not why. So, scatterbrains. The easiest way to unscatter your brain is invert everything you're doing. I don't know. What do you normally do in the morning? Do the opposite. You normally get up and look at your phone. Stop doing that. You normally take a shit. Don't take a shit. Wait on it. You normally drink coffee. Drink at the end of the day. I mean, I'm being goofy a little bit, but change your patterns up. Even if you're scattered brain, everyone has some sort of order and pattern. Put staples in your day that will change up what you're doing. What time you might do something. Skip a meal on purpose. Drive a different way to work. Just pick out seriously, print out a map of your town. Close your eyes and throw a dart. Go there. See what park you end up at. Something like that. See something new. The only way you can have new ideas, really, have new experiences. New experiences, new ideas, they kind of funnel into each other. And then you can be you're already part of created, and then you start to involve yourself in creation, and you get into creation mode, building things. I mean, it could be destroying too. You could Shiva, or you could Shakti, it doesn't really matter. Part of creation is destruction. If you got a weak foundation, a wobbly bridge, sometimes you gotta knock it down so you build a new one. But yeah, just do something you would not do. Just, what wouldn't you do? Go take tap dancing lessons. I don't know. You wouldn't walk that way. Walk that way. You don't eat certain types of food, or you only eat this, or what? Eat something different. What else would you do? Not saying to go all crazy and just like invent yourself anew and start wearing different clothes and go through some sort of crisis and shave your head and become that I need a Porsche, I'm having my midlife crisis, and I need a supermodel girlfriend, and I need a job. I'm not saying do any of that stuff. I'm just saying do something in your day that you're not accustomed to doing. That will start to make you more attentive to your thoughts. So then when you're attentive to your thoughts, you can start to massage them and mold them. So all that information comes in, you go, all right, back up with all that information. I need this information, and we're going to use this to create something. It's like people that are usually scatterbrained, one of their biggest outlets would be to do something that is, I would assume most people would call it obsessive compulsive. So if someone's sitting here playing with they're just tapping on something, like obsessively or scratching or something, that's not a good kind of compulsion. But if somebody were to hand you some mala beads, and I would say count those mala beads, there's a compulsion that can turn into a meditation that can be healthy. If you like, if there's something that is repetitive that could be turned into something that is relaxing and focus, that helps people out of their scatterbrain. So they use their scatterbrain goes away, and they become focused on something, and they become great artists usually. People that end up playing music are to get rid of the scatter. They hear too much. People that paint, they see too much. So they start painting, and they're focused, like precision. There's all sorts of little things that people can do to become obsessive compulsive in the best way. Because there's obviously bad routes to obsessive compulsive. Very bad. Just like anything, right? But if you can use your scatterbrain and turn that into something that might be beneficial. Novel. What do I think of pigeons? I call them pidjos and pidjons. I don't know, they're cool. A friend of mine the other day, we're sitting down outside having a beer, and a pigeon just flies into this little awning. It's literally like, 6x6 awning. He's outside, we're outside having a drink, and pigeon just flies over to him, lands on his hand, just hanging out with him. And there's somebody here that is training a pigeon that hangs outside. I think they're fine. I can feed some of them out of my hands. I think they're cool. But I mean, obviously, I prefer ducks because I think they're hilarious. Passing gas while passing a nitrous tank. Oh, so Troutman Martin, you're not Carson? Oh, that's hilarious. I thought you were Carson because by the picture you look like what he looks like now. Well, good to see you, Troutman. Is that Trout? Is it Trout or Trot? Troutman. Okay, Carson, now I think you're effing with me. I think you're both at this point. What's up, Fire Jake? Uh-huh. Yeah, man. Yeah, a lot of people that's what they don't get is you can switch a variable from a scientific mind. Just switch one variable. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's an input or an output. If you change something that's going on in the system, it's going to change, whether or not it's on whatever side it is. Use it from that kind of standpoint, where you were saying it's when people's inner pathways change, the outer always responds. The above, below, inside, outside, as within, so without, that kind of thing. It's like if you change a habit, you change your thoughts. If you change your thoughts, you can change a habit. It can work either way. Oh, you're from Germany, okay. Where's the rest of the rest of our German brethren in here? Where's who hasn't been around in a while? Jonaman? He hasn't been around. Who else? Where's the big Jimin? Where's Jimin been? You guys seen Jimin and Wake around on here? Oh, wicked. Well, thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, if you don't know Troutman, the big I don't know. I don't think he's actually. Is he from? Does anybody remember? Is he from Germany? Because we just give him shit. I don't know if he's from Austria, Germany, whatever. One of those over there, right? But now he lives with this girl in the place where you can do all the drugs. Amsterdam or something. I forget where he lives. Yeah, I haven't seen him on here in a little bit. I mean, I see him on the gram every now and then, but Then again, my gram's gotten shut down so many fucking times. I'm on my 5th one now. And I don't even do shit. I'm not even out there posting the craziest stuff. It's just randomly on some. It's just the weirdest times it happens. I'm like, why I got fuck with my communication with my friends? Carson, you got some? Oh, you got some and did them? 500 in a day? That's a little excessive, don't you think? Don't you think 500 is a little excessive? And that's coming from somebody that I've done. Let's see, what is there? How many? 24 in a pack? I've done half of that on a birthday, which is obscene. It's not. It's. Don't do that. But. What are the grams? Instagram. Troutman. Yeah, I've done half of that. Definitely, I've done 8 or 10 to the head. Like I was by myself too, because I was supposed to be hanging out with somebody, and it was for us to. It was actually supposed to be 2 days worth for me and somebody, and then they bailed on me, and I was like, kind of like a little sad about it, and I was like, well, I'll just do these by myself. Figuring I would do a box. Yeah, right. And that turned into, yeah. Okay, Carson, you put them in a balloon, right? So you do a cracker into the like you're making whipped cream, and then you put it into a balloon, because that's the safest and best way to do it. And how many do you do at a time? Just one, or have you upgraded to 2 or perhaps 3? What do you mean? You're doing? You're saying 150 in a day, like on a regular basis? Okay. See, Carson, I don't know, why didn't you when you were down here, after having been in Florida, why didn't we ever hook up? Why didn't you come down here? Like you seem to have your shit together on your on your fun games. For about a week. Those are I fully endorse those. I think, and if you look up like errrybody or whatever, it's one of the safest things on the planet, really, as far as that kind of like psychedelic, I guess you'd consider it. Yeah. Oh, your driver didn't want to drive that far? Yeah. Well, you fucked up. I'll tell you that. You definitely did. Because it's New Orleans, dude. What aren't you understanding here? I don't know if I have my shit together. Yeah, I didn't really think I was being a little bit facetious. Yeah, you should probably do that, man. I don't know how hard you're trying to go with the RV life. Like, you're just gonna buy one and you just go, or are you trying to get one and like do it all custom, like I'm a gypsy, woo, or are you just trying to get a cool one and just? Because if you can do that gypsy life, there's lots of cool artists down here, and people that definitely give you a hand in putting that all into groovy order, dude. Oh yeah. Living and travel. Yeah, that's what's up. I've seen a lot of sweet conversions on even smaller vans or box trucks and stuff like this that are just out of sight. Like the inside that you wouldn't even know. If you were in it, you would think you're in an apartment. I mean, it's super small, obviously, but there's some pretty sweet ones I've seen. Well, I will say, as we're speaking of nomadic gypsy lifestyles, this gypsy here is at the end of Cash cash money due to a couple hiccups in the road, including breaking this phone, which is, I'm only luckily to use it now. I just had to buy a new one. I just got it delivered, or else I wouldn't even be able to do these at all. So I kind of wasted my last few bucks on that. So if anybody wants to support what I do here, there's a way to do that through CashApp, PayPal, Venmo, or if you just want to buy me a beer, whatever. TSAR, capital XEN. You can see it beneath the description box. Also, you can hit me up if you have any questions that are dealing with anything that I can't really speak about on here, because my channel has got shut down way too many times for me saying the most normal things that somehow people do not like. So you can hit me up on Theoluminous, TheoluMinous @gmail.com. And also you can find me at Theoluminous on Instagram, and find me on Telegram, which is the best source if you want to have contact, completely no holds barred with me there. And it's my name. Just put in Zen Atman. That's me. I think it's maybe like Zen underscore on Telegram. Fucking Carson, yeah, and I still owe you the backpack with everything in it. We'll figure something out there. And hopefully soon. I mean, I got some cool people that I've just met that they're into crafts and catering business and all sorts of cool shit. And I might be able to scoop a couple dollars together on the side and have somebody help me put those things together. And I might be able to have a few, if I get a few bucks coming in, at least then I can just go, whatever, I'll just eat the cost up front and make the bags with all the cool shit in it. Yeah. Oh, and I'll put my t-shirts in there, because I told you I have a fucking hilarious idea for a t-shirt. Oh yeah, I mean that definitely came through. That came through. Like that since then it's been like a whole fucking between the hurricane, between like shit, like money I wouldn't have been spending, but I had to, and then yeah, these things happen. Then my channel getting shut down a couple times. Oh well, what you can do. Let's not focus on what we don't have. Focus on having anything that we want in the future, and including right now. And I have everything I need. A little bit of kratom, and a little bit of kratom, and some milk, some chunks of milk that I don't want in there. Yeah. Some cherry juice, and a beer. I need to talk to you guys, and I got a new phone, so that's great. I didn't like the fact that I had to, get one, but oh yeah, the kratom. Yeah, I just got some today because I screwed my knee up the other day, and I don't feel like popping Advils or whatever, because obviously I'm the guy that say don't take prescription drugs and blah blah blah, but and I didn't want to be popping those bitches, so I needed to get some pain reliever, a natural medicinal plant. What's up, Truth Addict? What are you doing? Oh yeah, you got some? Bong bong, yeah. I want to take the rest of this, but there's like I didn't have any milk, but I had somebody had gifted me a cake the other day, and it had like frosting, whatever, on it, but it turned out it didn't really mix up too well. So there's chunks of milk fat in here, and it's making me kind of nauseous, but let's see what happens. Not too bad. Oh, it's called Zen Blend, for real? Awesome. It all weaves together. It all weaves together. Oh yeah, Aaron. Well, I'm pretty sure Carson knows what he's doing. I would totally advise don't mix alcohol and kratom at all. However, I learned my lesson a long time ago with that, and I know exactly how much I need of both of them. And like right now, I'm really just drinking a beer. Like that's all I'm drinking today. I actually haven't had a beer in a week, and this would be the first beer I've had. About a week, yeah. Drink anything. But yeah, it's a very, if you mix it in the right way, it's really awesome. But if you overdo it, it's no good. White Borneo, yeah, that's an upper, right? Borneo, the white is usually an upper. And the ginger is good for the stomach. I actually, well, in this blend, I'd put it was green, no, it was red mangda or red bali, I don't remember which. And then I put in a turmeric, cinnamon, and something blend. I forget what else was in it, but it was kind of like for a golden milk, and so that cuts down on stomach problems. And not that I really would have any, but and it's good for inflammation because my knee was inflamed a little bit. The white Borneo, the white Borneo. Yeah, but that timing, yeah. the it will always be on time, never be late kind of thing. When things just go, oh, how did that just happen like that? Yeah. So yeah, what else? What else? There were so many other things I wanted to get into, but I'm gonna save those things for another show and just continue to shoot the proverbial shit with you guys and see what pops up, because the other topics don't really mix in well with what we're talking about here, magic and creating and normally I would doing something different. Normally I would have just gone on and dove into those subjects, but we'll leave it for another show. How do you feel about that? And I'm considering, but changing things up, I'm considering moving my apartment around a little bit and using this wall here behind me as a place to do some artwork. Because I haven't done art in a while. I don't know. I've never really, it was never really, like maybe 10, 15 years ago, maybe for like a year, I painted and drew, and then I was like, eh. So I figured switch it up. Do some paintings. Who knows? Maybe I'm good at it. Yeah, you know what? That's what I noticed too, because a friend of mine, you said the white tie that you got at a smoke shop was junk. I've noticed that there's a gas station and there's other places that have it, like, oh, we have kratom, we got this, we got that, and friends of mine have gotten it, and they'll be eating them. And I'm like, how much are you supposed to take? Like, what is what's in there? And then I know how much I'm supposed to take based upon weight. Like, I know exactly how much it is. So I was like, well, give me 6 caplets or whatever. Let me see what it does. And they were trash. There was like it was like I didn't take any. So like it's worth finding a good source. It really is. Because the place that I get it from, the place, they definitely source everything they do there. Everything is like high quality. They do like CBD blends and this and that and all sorts of different herbs, and it's all like they take pride in what they find. So, and I know whenever I go there, I know exactly what I'm getting, and it's a good price too. I get like, how big is the bag? 500 grams. Yeah. $40, and so that would make me like 20 drinks, which is, maybe not 20, but somewhere around there. That's pretty solid. It's not like getting weed, where if you get weed that's not good, it's still weed and you get high a little bit. It's like this, if you get bad shit, it's kind of like, why would I even? So does anybody here have plans for the Thanksgiving? The holiday of slaughtering the natives? as some people prefer to call it. Is anybody doing family stuff? Or has the family been imploded to the points where, because of all the things going on? Or have you already, are you already the outcast of the family? I have a, maybe I can show you what I'm going to do. For whatever reason, I bought a turkey. And I think it's because I'm going to go to the quarter and just bring it there and feed the homeless. And I was like, everybody else was saying turkey, like everything's expensive this year. Meat's mad expensive. Turkeys are like this much. And I was like, guess I'm not getting a turkey. And then I'm looking online and it was like 39 cents a pound. So I was like, I get a 10 pound turkey for $4. Okay. So the smallest they had though was 16 pounds. Way too big. So I'm just gonna cook it anyways. And I'm just gonna brine it. So maybe I'll take you in the kitchen and show you how I'm gonna brine my turkey. And I'm gonna brine it with cranberry juice, citrus, orange cranberry, instead of cranberry sauce, cranberry juice, a more acidic citrus, orange juice. I'm gonna do some garlic, some onion, Chinese five spice, and some vinegar, and maybe perhaps a little. I had a friend that had a smoker, but they didn't have room in it because they had a bunch of shit to smoke. So I might add a little bit of liquid smoke, and we'll see. I got a couple other, and then obviously salt and some sort of sugar, brown sugar. Yeah, should be pretty dope. Thanks, Gibbons. You're trying to convince your family to go stay at Hotel Colorado. Where's Glenwood? Is it? I'm guessing it's in Colorado, or is it like you're in Paris, France, and there's a place called Hotel Colorado? This doing these lives gives me a little bit more feeling that I have some sort of purpose in my life, some sort of a semblance of normality, if that's ever been the case. Like not being able to do them for a week. I mean, I did on my other channel, but it's not. It feels a little different. It's a little different of a crowd, and I don't know. Just it feels like it's just something to do to pass time. Where I think at least on here, it'll have traction that people will watch it the next couple days. But for everybody here, if you don't know, my other backup channel is Zen Alchemist. And I may just start a third one. And again, I say this all the time, but it's kind of nearing the point where I'm going to just definitely open up a Patreon or one of the other major things that I can do. I can outlet stuff on. And then we can do all sorts of fun stuff. Put some of my music on there. I'll put my art on there. It'd be crazy. Like a whole doorway into my brain. Not just me talking. Not that most of you haven't seen how I act in public. It's not too different. Glenwood is like 4 or 5 hours out from Denver. Yes. So Denver, Silver Springs, or what's the third one? There's another one around there. I heard Silver Springs was a little less touristy, and a little more where to be at. But I can't do cold weather. I went out yesterday. Well, I didn't go yesterday. This morning, it was like 65. That's a no for me. I'm pass. Like, Oh man, they destroyed most of the summer, and now I gotta. It's like 65, and I'm like, I need a hoodie. Can't live like this. What'd you say, Aaron? I think I'm gonna do some Green Hill burritos. Green chill? Oh, green chili burritos. Yeah, yeah. You know, my most favorite thing I ever cooked for Thanksgiving was it was basically the anti-Thanksgiving. It was everything you don't eat on Thanksgiving. So it was prime rib, lobster bisque. Um, I mean, just name shit that you don't eat, like the finest. Like, and I cooked for a whole table of people, and that was an awesome Thanksgiving. And we drank lots of vodka. Yeah, but yeah, lobsters. If I could afford it this year, I would. But oh well, do it another time. I'd rather go spend $6 on a turkey and share it. Yeah, Aaron, the turkey with the because it's got tryptophan in it. You know, there's a couple other things that have. Everybody always says turkey, 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 tryptophan. There's other things that have a lot of tryptophan in it that you wouldn't think about. And it was funny because I was eating something the other day. Oh, I think cherries actually have tryptophan. Because somebody was saying so I was drinking something, and they say well, you're drinking a lot of that. I'm surprised you're not tired, because it's a remedy for women that are like pregnant or nursing when they can't sleep. They would drink a lot of cherry juice because it has a bunch of tryptophan. I think that's what it was. Melatonin, melatonin, melatonin. Yeah, melatonin. Oh, see, Aaron. People don't get this. Whenever you eat, um, if you go to a lot of cultures, they eat there's an aperitif, a digestif, and the alcohol is for that reason, literally to kill off the bacterias as the just in case methodology. Like, there's a point to drinking with your meal. Yes, it's fun and it loosens things up, but it's also to help speed things through your system. Rather get it out of you than sit there and literally, like a lot of people say, food poisoning, right? It's just because they get real bad diarrhea and vomit. Like, that's not really food poisoning. You didn't. Food poisoning is bad. I never had it, but I've known people that were food poisoning is like 2 to 3 days of shitting and vomiting, and that's no good. But like, yeah, I hear you on the food poisoning thing. Where like it wasn't good, but because you were drinking, it didn't even affect you. Yeah, if people knew what the spirits were doing, but yet they still claim the spirits are doing something evil. I don't know. I don't see it. Bananas also have tryptophan. Oh, interesting. So the browner the better. Does that develop the tryptophan, or do you wait and just use the peels and smoke them like that kind of shit, or you just mean eat the banana? Wait, Carson, you can't sleep or you don't want to sleep? You want to just stay awake? Ah, I like my sleep when I like my sleep. Uh, the banana ramas. Have I ever tried the mezcal worm? No. But you know what? I might have to go in the bathroom because I have this. This happens when I get the little squirrely one, and it goes into my nose, and you think I'm just fucking get out of my nose, and it tickles it. It tickles my hairs on my nose. But I don't think I'm ever gonna shave this thing again. I just don't really care anymore. Mezcal worm, never. I I mean, maybe one crazy night in college or something. Perhaps, but get out of here, little fly. I will punch you. Did you cut? Were you hanging out with my beard? Is that where you came from? Yeah, hold on. I might have to kill this fucking thing. Have you ever done the mezcal worm? I just ah. Aaron, what made me want to try salvia in New Orleans? I didn't do it while I lived here. I've not done salvia whilst here. In Baltimore I did. In Baltimore I did it a lot. And what made me? I think it was a friend of mine that played the didgeridoo, and he was a really cool dude. Or it could have been my next door neighbor, who just was like, he smoked weed all the time, and like he was a goofy dude. I think he was like, we should try this. I don't remember what it was, but then the first time I did it, I was like, oh hell, what is this? Oh, okay, that is crazy. Yeah, I don't. There was no like preemptive, precursed idea of why I did like other things. I've said okay, I want to do that someday, and I had an idea of what it was, like fasting or certain types of certain substances, but not with that. It could have been like the thing, like hey, it's like weed, but it's crazier. I don't know. I just don't remember. It so long ago. Oh no. Not here. I don't know that I've done any new substances whilst living here. I mean, no, I don't think so. Yeah, jumping spiders hanging out in your beard. What's up, no ID? What you doing? We're just shooting the fish in a barrel and the proverbial shit. If you have any topics or anything you want to talk about, dig into that, because I think the beginning of the video accomplished the task. And now we're talking about Carson Flowers jumping spiders in his beard. Oh no. It has propylene glycol in it. I did not know this. I mean, for me, unless it's a very noxious, absolutely toxic absurdity, like why would you even? Most things that if it's in foods, I know they're not foods, right? I don't really. I try to have less concern with whether or not because I did the whole thing for the longest time where everything has to be, clean and neat, and it's got to be vegetarian, and it's got to be put over here, and this thing you don't fry it on the grill if there was chicken, that kind of bullshit. And then I got to the point where I'm like, everywhere we go, there's going to be good, bad, and different in what we ingest through our things we hear and what we see and what we eat, what we consume. So I just got to the point of saying, I live somewhere there's food everywhere, and some of the best food in the world, and I just was like, I don't know what they put in there. I don't think it's going to harm me, and I'm not going to eat it every day. But if it's but I hear you on the beer thing, because if you drink beer often, then that's a smart choice right there. Like if I knew for certain that the beer that I'm drinking, like if PBR, if I do research and it was like, oh, it has uh, dead hooker babies in it, like the blood of the blood of a million youth from Bolivia that were killed in a boating accident in 1946. Like I'd be like, well, maybe I shouldn't drink that. But yeah. But as far as substances in general, I'm just kind of like, we're kind of in a giant stew of shit here altogether. Well, I think there certainly is some sort of coordination between that beer. I've green beers always gave me weird gas. Green bottle beers. What's up, Jeremiah? What are you doing? Man. Oh, no ID. That's sucky, yo. Well, wolves are. Hey, the wolf's in a better place, man. you know, you get the time you can with these wolves, and being a wolf by itself. It was being a wolf. You got the lone wolf, always those are the ones you should be. You should be like, oh, interesting, because you're the pack runners. If they're not running packs and is hanging out, that's usually a blessing, right? Aaron, the champagne yeast on Amazon. Yeah, I've seen some ads on Instagram for that. So they give you a kit, and it seems a little too expensive, but yeah, you don't really need that much to turn any sort of sugary fruit juice into substance. It's not much to it, really. Like making wine is pretty simple. Making beer is pretty simple. These are not hard processes. Really, all you really need is sugar and a yeast. That's about the size of it. Once it starts breaking that down, and as long as you know the difference between turning something into an aerobic or an anaerobic situation, and as long as you got the breathing going on there, like you're producing different types of, whether you're producing some alcohol or some vinegar or whatever, you'll figure it out. You'll figure it out if you make it wrong. I think you can only really screw it up bad if you do like vodka or gin or something, making a hard liquor. Other than that, you just probably get bad diarrhea. No idea. That's awesome. Yeah. Ah, deep connections from silence. Oh yeah. That's the thing you'll notice about good friends of yours, that you can sit there in silence. But to other people that are incessant and obsessive talkers, they fill in space by talking. Like obviously it would appear as I'm doing that, but I'm on this side of it, so I have to. And if you were to hang out with me in person, I probably am more talkative than most people. But no, all the time, if we're hanging out like on an individual level or whatever, comfortable silence is where it's at, because you're feeling the energy from someone else rather than having to hear it. That's a very specific energy, or to see it. Oh, energy. I like you. Look like you're a stand-up person. Oh, I like the sound of your voice. You smell like a good. I can smell you, but like that whole radiant auric field, that the Krillian photography type. How much auric field are you putting off? Yeah. Oh, it's a good thing. Aaron, that's crazy, yo. Yo, that's crazy. That ain't cool. I mean, perhaps they did in the thought that you were a and then moved on, but that's some fucked up shit. Yeah, I know. I don't. It's interesting. I don't. I've lived in um, rural areas and that kind of shit, but yeah, it's a different attitude. City mouse, country mouse, and how people's perception of where they think they. It's kind of like people that live on lakes or whatever, and some people will fish at their dock because it's good fishing. A little different, I guess, I suppose, if they got a good spot there, than like hunting right beside someone's like. There's a whole forest there. Go somewhere else. So that's kind of weird. Aaron Dilbeck, you found my channel through a flat Earth group. No shit. That's so interesting that I'd be on there because I certainly, perhaps, believe that the realm that we're situated on is not what we've been told. No shit though. If you're very new, I will tell you that my channel used to be way, 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 way bigger. I had about 3,500 videos, millions views, and YouTube has a habit of putting strikes against my work, so I had to take most of those down. So now you get a different look at the things that I do. But I do occasionally, from time to time, will go back through and look at one of my videos to make sure I'm not saying anything that's censorable, and I'll put it back up. So my early work I'm gonna be putting back up. There's some of it already up right now, but yeah. opening the doors to the invisible inner self. Opening the doorways to the doorways of perception. So yeah, Aaron Dybeck. So how much of my material do you know? Like how many times have you listened to me? I'm always interested whenever I get to meet new people on here. Have you heard me talk before? Because now we're just kind of shooting the poo poo. I already covered if you're interested at the beginning of the video, there was a good decent 20 minutes or so of some channeling a thought. Well, yeah, no ID. That's kind of the beginning tone of the show, and earlier today, what I was trying to discuss, which we've talked about many times, is we live in a meta realm, not like the Facebook thingy, but a mind realm. Meta means mind. It's like a metaphysician, means a physician of the mind, and like everything comes out of that. So yeah, this is the way you put it. When within, you will find that this is a construct of the mind, a hologram for your consciousness to experience different emotions and experiments, of which you can reach. Yeah, and it's about how to get outside of the same projection of the hologram that you're. It's a two-way street. It's obviously here, like this is here, but it's how do you adjust? How do you adjust your perception of what you're projecting? How do you adjust your interaction and what you are projecting? And how do you what are you learning? What's new? What's creative? What's groovy? Each one giving the individual more mind space in which to learn and expand before reaching yourself again. Yeah. Oh, well, thanks, Aaron. there's many different hats and I don't know, attitudes that I have. I don't. I got bad attitudes sometimes. No, there's a shitload of things that I talk about, from esoterics to occult to language, etymology, mathematics, astrology, tarot, magic, art, science, theater. I don't know, music, how things function in this reality, synesthesia, health, well-being type things. Those are the things I'm trying to push to a different direction now, because I don't want to even discuss them on here, because if I say anything to do with such words, that you know where I'm going with this, that I get a strike against my shit, and I don't want that to happen. So so we will and if you do need help with anything that is very health related, because that's one of the things that the beginning of my channel, and the reason I was focused on doing this was like water fasting. Like, I'm probably one of the only people that you've ever met that's fasted on water for 40 days. You know, juice fasting. What do I know about herbs and da-da-da-da? Like, yeah. So from that standpoint, if you ever want to get at me, it's Theoluminous, TheoluMinous at Gmail. So if you have any one-on-one problems, like maybe your anus is bleeding and you don't want to talk about that on here because it's too personal of a subject, and you're like, hey, how could I help this? And I could give you answers to that. Like, one is, don't sit on a fence and take your thumb out of your ass. Yeah, to become sensitive with life and existence. Yeah, people always downplay sensitivity. Like, what do you want to be a knucklehead? You want to be dull? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're dull, as you turn off all the senses. I mean, certainly there's times when you want to dull your senses because it's all too much. But other times, like, if you're designing something, if you want a great audio system, you want fine tuning. I want the extra dials. I want to play with the dial and just how can we really hone this in to exactly what we're looking at? What do I want to hear? What do I want to see? And that's the advancement. That's the getting to the next variable. That's getting to, like, it's not 12.2, it's 12.235. Well, it's not 12.235, it's 12.235, 6, 7, 10, A, B, select, start, whatever. You know, it's finding something more precise, which is, what exactly do you want? Or what would you ask the universe? You know, if you could speak to the universe, to the creator, to whatever you call it, what would you ask for? What would it be? Is it an item? Is it peace of mind? Is it piece of vagina? Is it... What do people want? It's like rubbing the genie's lamp, except for the trick that nobody tells you. And if you pay attention closely, the genie's lamp, you can rub it as many times as you want. You don't just get one go at it. You could all the time. Now, if you do it all the time, what you'll end up doing is you're having a backlog on all the things you've asked for and not understanding, like, well, where's all this coming from? Well, you keep asking for things, and they're showing up at random times. And rather than going, maybe you should be a little more selective about what you're requesting from the universe. What's up, Skull? Yeah, it's not so cool to be smart because you're too aware. Like, I don't numb myself. I dumb myself down at times, and for things like to participate in. I like lowbrow humor. I love it even while I'm sober. I like lowbrow humor, but to, like, participate in lowbrow shit, sometimes you gotta kind of, get off your fucking high horse and get in the mud. That's life. Because it is too troubling to think, like, oh, what do you know that's so important? You wouldn't ask for anything. You feel if it's already here already. Yeah. I mean, even if it's here, you never get anything you don't ask for. Ha 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 ha. Good answer. I suppose for others to feel the divine love that truly exists, like stop reminding the world it's ugly. Ah, that's really interesting. I'd seen, I think it was, I think it was it Krishnamurti? It was not Judo. It was the other one. Who the other Krishnamurti? Anyways, and he was talking about like the reminder, you know, it's easy to see the world as a disgusting, foul, evil, messy, filthy place, but just stop for a second and look around. Like, it's look at all of this. Look at all of it. I don't care how chaotic and how go into an old cat lady's house. There's shit everywhere. There's stacks of paper. She's a hoarder. There's still something there. Like there's still like that's a whole thing. Like that's a whole. Like, how crazy is it? That exists right next door, and then there's these like a picket fence, and there's these clean closets, and and everything's all right next door. And isn't that just really dramatic and strange? And like, whoa, look at this. And then look across the street, and there's cloud formation and mountains and trees, and wondering how those trees grow, and then why is that squirrel doing that, and how does that seed turn into an orange that I get to eat and so delicious? Like, wow, look at all this shit. It's all right there. Aaron, yeah. It's got you started like 12 years ago on trying to figure it out. Oh, I've done plenty of videos on that. Exactly what you're talking about. Hello, Melissa. Oh, like when Aaron, when you say damaged by the system, do you mean like physically because of the thing? You should holler at me for real, off of here if you want some help with something. You could ask people in here if it's physical health related shit. You can talk to me about that. I just can't. I'm just not gonna discuss it on here. Can't. People on here that probably in the room now know that I know what I'm talking about. But or do you mean like just damaged by the system in the sense that the system you can't live on the earth and not get somewhat nicked and bruised and banged up, obviously spiritually, but mentally or psychologically. People are you're gonna get banged up. The system's gonna cause a lot of turmoil. It's a Monday. We got 3 more days till Thanksgiving. Thanksgoblins. Still got to do some. I don't know. Should I do more shopping? Should I do a whole meal or something? Because I don't know. Like I was saying earlier, I got a whole turkey in there, and I'm about to brine it. So that'll take until Wednesday morning, and I'll be able to cook it and take it out on Thursday. But my building is having like a building community cookout, and I'm assuming there's going to be turkeys there already, so I'm not going to bring mine. So I was going to bring mine to the Quarter. If anybody doesn't know, I live in New Orleans, giant Jacksonville Square, and that's where all the people that are homeless hang out. I just figured I'd bring down a meal for them. Oh yeah, if anybody here, I'll give you guys a a call to action here. If you want to, I'll prepare an entire meal and go down to the front to Jackson Square on Thanksgiving and hand it out. If you guys want to donate to that meal, you can do that. Cash App, PayPal. Just put in the descriptions for that. and I'll cook it up on Wednesday and take it out on Thursday and feed everybody. Barring that, like I'm kind of low on cash. I just had to buy a new phone. Blah blah blah. CashApp, PayPal. It's in the description box. Blah blah. In the description box beneath. It's TsarXen, T-S-A-R, capitalize the X-E-N, T-S-A-R, capital X-E-N. And if you want to have them eat something, just tell me, hey, here's whatever duckets, you keep whatever, or buy them beer, buy them a fucking, cook them up something, because I can throw down in the kitchen. And I still do need to get a couple things for the turkey. Some apples to stuff inside, and I have everything I need for stuffing. Oh yeah, no idea. It was funny because the build up to the eclipse, literally the eclipse and everything went fucking like completely against me. Completely against me. My phone broke completely. My channel got shut down. I fucked up my leg. I mean, my cash is in no bueno land. And then a couple days later, it kind of it reversed its force field. Like my leg is starting to work again. I got a nice gift. I got some groceries. Got a turkey for some people. We'll see. Very interesting. Okay. Yeah, listen, Aaron, holler at me on Theoluminous, TheoLuminous @gmail. That means God light. That's me. And I'll talk to you, and I'll do a video for you specifically on here. I'll just put it on private and I'll just talk to you, and then I got to delete it afterwards because I can't post it because whatever I'll say is not going to be, you know what I'm saying? Or I'll just do a one-on-one with you if you want on like Zoom or whatever. Okay, I got you. What you know about that show In Living Color? James Beard. You know what's funny? I always hear about James Beard and the James Beard Award and whatever, because a friend of mine like won the James Beard Award, but for I think for something nothing to do with cooking, but bartending or something. And I never knew who the guy was. I mean, I know who Julia Childs is. I know who that dude is. Oh, dude, no, it was a complete mess. All in like, I couldn't use my other computers. I broke my other one broke the other day, right after the hurricane. And I was just like, everything was just like, it was like, hey, fuck are you? I was like, cool. Yeah, pretty good times. Hey, anybody know my email? Type it in there. Theo, Theo, Luminous, meaning like light, Luminous, Luminous. Like Illuminati. Ooh, spooky. Ooh, is that spooky? Yeah. I don't do anything. I just point in the directions And then you just let your body. I just point you where to go, and then your body does the work. Yeah. This is correct spelling, and that's Gmail. Yes. That's the one. So I tried to get a turkey small enough to fit in my crock pot, or not a crock pot. It's just like whatever my giant whatever 10 quart whatever. Nah, and I got a 16 pound one. It doesn't fit. So now I'm gonna have to do it in a bag. Which actually is probably I won't have to use as much, and it'll work. I think it'll work just as good. I have to put it in a couple shopping bags, but I think it's gonna be delicious. Although I've never really, I think I've cooked maybe 2 turkeys in my life, and one was it didn't really matter because it was a bunch of drunk people, and it was like 10 cooks in the kitchen. It just didn't really matter. So what else? What else? Maybe. I love the standards. I don't know why I don't eat green bean casserole more often because I love green beans. I like and green beans with mushroom soupy shit is awesome with the crispy oniony crunches on top. Yeah. But I kind of like doing offshoots of things. I just don't know how fancy I want to get. Like a friend of mine just gave me some portobello mushrooms. I love doing stuffed mushrooms, but that's a lot of fucking work. Inject it and fry it. Yeah, I'm gonna go fry it. Unless I got a deep fryer sitting right here. I don't have a deep fryer, and I live in an apartment building. I'd have to go out back, even if I had one. And it seems a little dangerous. Oh man, Colin, I really do love. Seriously, I love that right out the can where you can see the folds from the can in the cranberry sauce, and you just slice it off. I would just eat that like as a kid. I didn't put that on my turkey. I ate only the dark meat because it's only edible meat. It was the only thing that was even close to moist. Everything else was just drowned in gravy and mashed taters. But then I would take that sauce. Oh man, that was so good. Grandma's cranberries. You mean like your own grandmother's, or is it a brand? You mean like your grandma's cranberries? Yeah, I'm gonna marinate the turkey in cranberry juice. Yeah, how's that working? So you eat the cooked meal in the evening, and everything else is smoothies. You probably got a lot more energy, huh? And a nice big bowel movement in the morning, and then smoothies all day, and then whenever I do the 1 meal a day thing, I always have way more energy. Cape Cods? I don't even know what that means. Colin, I thought you were joking at first. Yeah, oh, give me a spoon. I'll just eat it out of there. It kind of reminds me of like, you ever get the orange juice concentrate as a kid? The frozen stuff? I'll get that out of there and just spoon it out of there. Spoony love, man. Just eating like it's supposed to make like a gallon of orange juice. I'm like, no, that's just for me eating. Oh yeah? Well, that's awesome. Yeah, the really like it's hard for me to know how much people's how much they change because of changing a diet like to 1 meal a day. I mean, for me, just because I've done it so often and fluctuated my diet, it's hard to make But for somebody that would eat all the time to just go to 1 meal a day, it's got to be quite the change in energy like immediately. Once you get past the first couple of days of going, I think I'm hungry, to then just going accepting like I just have more time and more energy. Yeah, and after that, and after really like if you get into it, after you take those first maybe 3 days of shits, because you're gonna be shitting out stuff that's still in you. Once that's out of you, and then now you're really getting those smoothies into you, and you're getting the energy like almost directly from the sugars and the everything that's going on in the smoothie. Yeah, that's what's up. Oh, you like that? You like the background? Yeah, I don't. I think I turned it on because it was a really interesting light, the way it was coming in, and it made everything very chalky in here. Well, Aaron, that's my name. My name is Grandma. It's one of my names. It's Grandma, like grammar, Grandma, Ao. Burp God. That's awesome, no ID. Yeah, it's so hard for me to yeah. Like, I know what it does because I know that I'm different than what I used to be, and I know that how my diet fluctuates, but like to go from doing that for 20 years to straight good diet, yeah. Yeah, once you go from interacting with things that are literally dead form, like for me, having eaten I'm all over the map with fasting and things that I've eaten, consumed, juices and all sorts of meats and raw, cooked, blah blah blah. That going from a diet that was growing up almost strictly dead food, meaning canned, boxed, drive-through, processed, everything. I'm saying everything. I don't know what fresh food. I don't know what I ate that was fresh. Maybe oranges, like if we were playing sports, like maybe some oranges. But other than that, like no. And then to go to the point of doing everything in the living food world, it's a totally different thing. It's a whole different energetic charge your body gets. But now that I've done that and been through the cleanses, like even when I eat something that isn't living or whatever, it doesn't take energy away from me. I just don't get a charge from it. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't give me like, oh, I just ate some cherries and a pineapple, and I could feel it vibrating in me, which is pretty awesome. Whenever after doing a fast, even a few day fast, if you were to do a water fast for a week, I'm pretty sure that you would still feel like. So I have this cranberry was in here. Oh no, this is not cranberry. This is cherry and tart cherry juice, and then some apple juice. There might be something else in here. Yeah, tart cherry and apple juice. Like it's pasteurized, but if you were to drink this right after doing a water, it's the first thing in your mouth. You'll feel it go into your stomach and you'll feel it radiate through your body. It's kind of like if you've ever done like a good drug and you just start to feel where it radiates from. That's what would happen after a water fast. But if you do a fresh fruit, oh man. Biting into a fresh fruit, you just go. It's like you're on drugs, dude. Yeah, I remember the first time that I was able to see the entire sky when I was living in North Carolina, and I was living on the ocean, and there was a part in North Carolina where you could drive out to even a more remote location that was kind of cool. What was the name of the place? Ocracoke. It was near Ocracoke, but if you guys don't know, it's where the Kill Devil Hills, where the Wright brothers supposedly took the first flight. So I lived like right next to there, but going down away from the town, there's like no houses, so now there's no light pollution. And there's nothing on either side, so you have the sound side, and then the ocean side, and then just the way to get down to the next part of land and you'd be somewhere there's no light pollution, and you look up in the sky and you can see the whole Milky Way, the whole thing. It was fucking red, super red. You're like, wow, that's what the sky looks like, all of those colors. And it's the whole thing. Whenever you see those pictures on, like, you know, this is what the sky looks like. No, it doesn't. If you've lived in the city or anywhere that any light pollution, you're like, it can't look like that. And I was like, whoa, it does look like that. Wait, no idea. Tell you about the water fast? What do you want to know? I mean, what didn't it benefit? Oh yeah, a fresh fruit smoothie. It gets expensive. That's for sure. That's for certain. It will. That's the downside, man. It takes you a little bit. I mean, they rig the system that way, you know. The good stuff is going to cost you more, but it'll keep you from having to do all the things afterwards and feel unhealthy and have to go to the doctor. You know what I mean? It's a game. But yeah, it is kind of expensive. Water fast. I mean, I've done many. The longest one. What benefits? I'll you know what? I'll repost my water fast videos. You know what? On my channel, I'll repost my larger videos, and that's in my top 10 probably. Like, it probably has like 50 or 60,000 views. And I'll post every my top 10 or whatever, my popular ones. And I went and I explained the 40-day water fast and benefits and blah blah blah. I did an AMA on it too, on Reddit. So that was like 9 years ago. You could look it up. And also, if you're interested in my writings from years ago, 2012. I guess it was that long. 2012, 2016, maybe even 2011 to 2014. I don't know. WordPress, zenalchemist.wordpress.com. Is that right? Yeah. Zenalchemist at wordpress.com, whatever the hell it is. You know how it works. / blah, blah, blah. Zen Alchemist. And that's all my old writings on a lot of different things. Before I started making these. Oh yeah. It was totally awesome. The outside of just being able to, at the beach too. Nothing. There's no. All I'm hearing is the sound of the waves and that. I have no idea. I hear you on that. Yeah, I mean I just told this. I've told the story so many times about my fast, like the long one. I mean, it's a lot of things that happen. A shit ton of things that happen. Between like being able to, your third eye opening, dreams become lucid, vivid, getting out of body if you're into observing that and focus on it. I could see I could see with my eyes closed. Like I could see a dark room with my eyes closed. It was pretty crazy. Healthier. I mean, no longer did I didn't need to wear deodorant afterwards. I didn't smell. It smelled like baby's ass. I mean, there was only positive things. Yeah. I mean, there are other fasts that I would probably. There's a difference in purposes for doing a juice or a water fast, or there's even other types of cleansative fasts. Maybe I'll do a whole show on that. And then there's also like doing like a lemonade fast, lemonade cleanse, that are maybe a better idea for most people to start out doing. For different reasons. I mean, most people, they're not fasting for necessarily spiritual attunement and enlightenment, but just they want to cleanse their body out. And there's quicker, better, easier, more like the dramatics of doing a water fast are like it's a little tough at first because you're going from food and sugar and nutritions that you what you think of as nutrition, minerals and vitamins and all this, to you're not getting that, and so it's quite a blow to the system, and not knowing how it works, it's difficult to deal with. Where doing something like a lemonade cleanse, you're getting all of the benefits of you're adding maple syrup, and you're getting your sugars. You're not going to feel the hunger pains. You're not going to have all that problem. And you're adding the lemon juice, which is alkalizing your blood because it leaves it's an acid but leaves an alkaline ash, which means it's turning your blood more alkalinic. And it's also as it's going through your body, it's removing so many things because what do you think lemon juice does, right? So doing a lemon juice fast, lemonade cleanse is pretty good move to start with, I think, and it's way cheaper than doing fruit juice fast. Juice fast is easiest to build things. You can build certain areas of your system depending on the color of the fruit. They're very much connected by their signature, their sign of their nature. So a certain food looks like something and has a geometry of something in your body. It's going to function to assist that part of the body. So like a walnut looks like the brain. So if you were drinking the oil from a walnut, or you know what I mean, that's the oil is what you need for your brain, the omegas 3, 6s, and 9s, and it looks the same, right? You have almond oil. An almond is the shape of the amygdala. It has the same name, right? And a similar name, right? This is part of the language too. And it's has the chemical precursor for joy. Think of the candy bar, Almond Joy. Why? Because almonds have that I forget the chemical right now, but so anyways, and different color foods, let's say things that are for your root chakra going to be in a red thing, something that's your base energy thing, red fruits and things. Those will help keep your ass lit on fire, you know what I mean? Versus if you're a very aggressive person, maybe you want to cool down and calm things. You would use greens and blues, something to balance the system out. Or if you want to go specifically for organs, maybe you have bad eyesight, you use carrots. Everybody knows carrots are good for the eyes, but why? If you cut it and you look at it, the carrot looks exactly like an eyeball with the cornea and the radiating lines and all this. Yeah. And then you have a bunch of different fruits that link up with different parts of the body. And those would be used specifically to heal or strengthen those parts of the body. Colin, if tubes are being cleared, is fasting important? I suppose it could be. Because there still is the whole process to get it to those tubes down there if you're doing enemas. So there's still everything's going on to get there, right? So you still can't be 100% sure what's going on in the other, the gallbladder, the liver, and the kidneys. You could do specific cleanses for those, doing coffee enemas for the gallbladder and help to flush the liver. And then you have all sorts of milk thistles and things you can do to keep the kidneys healthy. But fasting just seems to do a lot for the mind as well, because it fastens you. So you hold strong. Fastening isn't just to go fast; it's to fasten, to clamp something together, to bind something. So you'd be fastening your virtues, that you're able to do something. It keep you like, oh, I don't need that. You go through the aisles in the supermarket and you get to the end, and all of a sudden there's all the candy there and impulse buys. It's when you can walk through there and go, I don't need none of that. That's the kind of the same purpose of fasting. So I don't need that. See if you can walk through and just go, no, we're good. Yeah, no ID. Yeah, I hear you on that too. Yeah, you're getting direct because there's nothing in the way anywhere. Once you've once you're pretty clean with no obstructions in the tubes, everything's functioning, then you're kind of you move on to using different radiant channels. I guess you'd say like a higher chakra or just your auric field is a little stronger, more magnetic or electric. I have not. The life and teachings of the masters of the Far East. It sounds like something I've heard of before. I don't know that I've read it. I don't think so. Maybe an audiobook, but no, I don't think I have. I will check it out. I'll put it on my list of things to do. One of the things I need to do is take a piss. And because I am that mother effer, I'm going to drink it. Why? As everybody here knows, even the new coming people here, it's probably the most powerful medicine on the planet, and super healthy. I don't know. Here, let me. Okay. Give me a moment. I'm gonna go refill this guy with some piss. I'll be back. It's probably a silly idea right now because of the time and being that it's 4:40. This is going to keep me awake. But oh well, bottoms up. I mean, I know I can't really prove it to you, but not that I need to because everybody here knows. Shivambu Culpa is that shit. It's not the shit, it's the piss. And if it looks a little weird colored, because there was already some juice in here that I didn't see at the bottom. Like, your piss is pretty fucking weird. Now there's already cranberry juice in here. Not too bad. Not too bad. Where were we? Yeah. Yeah, sounds good. I will. That sounds, yeah. The cities, which is interesting because if you're familiar with the word city, obviously, if you go into a city, C-I-T-Y, it's a place of power. So the root word is city. It's S-I-D-D-I-H, or cities, so it means a person or place. It means a person, or the cities are the powers. So we have cities. Colin, difference between drinking clear and yellow? I mean, it's just what's coming out of you. It's a differentiation between kind of how much dehydrated are you and how much of your I don't know, like whatever salts and other things and minerals and blah blah blah, all of that obviously be a stronger flavor, the darker. Just be more hydrated. I mean, it's not necessarily pleasurable to drink very dark urine, but then again, that's probably when you need it the most. It's more bitter. Uh huh. What's up, traveler? You've drank yellow and it's pretty strong. Oh yeah, I mean, I have too. Like, it's a great hangover cure too. You're getting the urea back in you. You're getting a bunch of plasma back in you. It's already the perfect temperature to be drinking. Yeah, but okay. Traveler though, have you ever drank any brown to black that has been aged? It's that's different. That's not for the faint of hearted. Ah, no idea. I like that. Yeah, yeah. It's the understanding of I've always yeah, when people always talk about killing the ego and getting rid of the ego, that I can't follow what they're saying because they don't understand what they're saying. You can't get rid of your personality. You can't get rid of what the ego is. It's part of your experience. You don't let it. You're just not let. You're not let the ego make the decision. It's an aspect of you. It's not you. You don't let your personality and the things that you are, because that's not you completely. You don't let that control what you think, how you observe things. You take it all in and you go, ah, something new, and your ego just alters, changes, morphs. Yeah, if you close your mind out of ego, saying this is what I know, and this is what I know not to be true, and this is what I, you know, once you do that, then you go, oh, but I know everything. The ego likes to know everything, and that the ego basically it's like aspects of okay, what here's some things that I'm certain of, like whatever the real me is, I'm pretty certain that breathing ether, plasma, it's good. Pretty sure that. I'll keep that. I'll keep that separate from my ego. I'll stick with clean water is good. You know what I mean? And then we get to the egoic things of, well, I think I know how this works. I think I know this. I think I'm better at this. I think I'm like that. You gotta get rid of those parts. Get rid of. Yeah, yeah, yeah. In this meat suit, exactly. There'd be no reason for you to have this meat suit if you weren't supposed to experience it. You go through this and you have to be an ascetic and just sit there and don't touch, don't ingest, don't interact, don't. No, but the other way is, you know, that would be to be beyond. It's not apathetic, but it'd be ascetic and to a different degree. And the other would going the other that's called monk mode, and the other would be going so far to become a hedonist. Yeah, like they both have their values. Enjoy immensely anything you're involved in. If you're eating ice cream, fucking love that ice cream. Enjoy it. And if you're whatever you're doing, yes, you're in it. That's hedonism, but you can't do that. You can't be always looking for that next experience of touching, tasting, feeling, smelling, hearing. You can't just always be on always turned up mode. Sometimes you have to go to turn off mode, and we just chilling, experiencing the silence of life. Hmm. Oh shit. So I was checking my. I thought I had a call to make. I do not. Well, what else? Yeah, I hear you on that part. Yeah. It's a good. You know, it's a good thing, but it's a funky thing too. Being is that not being involved with the ego, and suddenly you see people so far gone. Well, sometimes when they're so far gone, and being when you have empathy, that's a difficult task there too. You're so empathetic that you want to help, but then you have to go, but I can't, because you know better. There's that part too. That's the troubling one. If you see somebody that's so toasted, so far gone, out of reality, their ego is just wah wah wah, that there's nothing you can do. You can just go, okay. Yeah. Oh, it's amusing whenever you just go. There's no helping this person here. Most of the time, I don't feel that way. Maybe it's this. There isn't. There are some people. Let's see. Let me try to make this wording right here. You can't help every single person. I can't help every single person. But there are people that you could look at and go, oh, that person's unhelpable. But it's just that you can't. I know people that, like, I can't help them, they can't help them, they can't help them. But that person way over there, they'll listen to them. I don't know who that is, but there's always that person that somebody will pay attention to. And then they would be able to help. Even though they don't even want to be or don't know or whatever, like, it doesn't matter. That's who they could identify with and get something out of the conversation and understand. Because there's plenty of times, and everybody's been in this situation, where either yourself or for somebody else, where maybe you heard something from someone and you're like, you never did anything about it, then you heard it from someone else and you implemented it. And so he goes, you know how many times I told you that? And you go, yeah. Or the other way around. You're telling somebody all the time, like, this. And they're like, they can't hear you. They're just kind of like, you know? And then somebody else tells them, they go, and all of a sudden they make this little change in their life or something, or they do this or that, and they're like, when did you start doing that? Oh, well, so and so. Like, I fucking told you that for like 3 years. What changed now? Oh, I just needed a different person to say it. I just needed confirmation or something. Somebody that I knew what I knew. That, you know, if I told the chick that her period. Oh, I had this conversation with a chick the other day. She was not happy with what I had to say about it. And she's talking about how long her period was. And she was like, oh, it's not that long. It's 5 days, 6 days. I was like, that's way too long. Your period should maybe be 3 days if you're not healthy. And she's like, oh, no, that's not true. I was like, I literally have one of my biggest videos out with like 50 or 60,000 views, and I don't know how many chicks I know that got back to me like, oh my God, listen to what I said about it. Stop ingesting salt. Salt makes you salty. Menstruation, moon matrix. I broke it all down. The salt, moon matrix, the whole thing, and bleeding, and what that has to do with dehydration, blood clotting, Broke it the whole thing down. And how many chicks would be like, yo, my period used to be a week long, now it's down to like 4 or 3 days. Like, everything you said, like, correct. Like, my attitude just got better. Like, I want so snappy. Like, I stopped bleeding for a week and 6-7 days. And I said this to somebody, and they were like, you don't. And here's the thing: what I was getting at is, you're not a woman. You don't know. I'm like, bitch, I do know. Okay. I was just like, yeah, I get it. I don't know a woman's body. I don't know but I'm telling you, I know something about nutrition, something about health, and something about how the moon works, and something about how salt works. And so, it has seemingly for so many other women that you seem to be one of, and you're very wrong about how long. Just because you're used to it. Here's a big thing that I've learned through the years that I consistently have to tell people: just because it's normal does not mean it's healthy. They've normalized unhealth. Anything you go to somewhere for, they say, "Oh, this is just normal." No, and I don't know. I don't care what's normal. What is normal doesn't even mean average. Average is here, normal's down here, and healthy is somewhere over here. I want to know what's healthy. Don't tell me what's normal. Don't even tell me what's average. What's healthy? They've skewed the entire spectrum. So people have confused. Remember growing up, your brain was supposed to be 93% water, your body was supposed to be 72%. Now they tell you it only needs to be about 80% water and 60%. Something like that. Something ridiculous. I'm like, that's not what it was. I know for certain. I've studied this. And now they've just lowered the standards. It's what they did in school systems. It's what they do all over the place. They just lower the standards to make it look normal. They've normalized stupidity. They've normalized insanity. They've normalized unhealth. And I ain't buying it. Well, that's just normal. It's just what happens. Oh, if that's how it happens. Aaron, like Detroit or Philly. I lived in Baltimore. Most people would consider Baltimore quite trash. I didn't mind it, and I didn't live in a terrible area, but I didn't live in a good area. I liked Baltimore, but I can see how. Ah, is it best for your own mental health? Yeah, some people when they get less time, then they're like they'll hang on to what you're saying and maybe pay attention. But if they have you if you're at their beckoning call on their disposal, then I'll get to that next time. And now it's like I'll talk to you in a week. Maybe you'll pay attention when I say next time. I mean, it's like one of the 48 laws of power. To not make yourself so accessible that it makes your time more valuable to people. That's why sometimes whenever I was making videos on here for a while, I felt like I was making too many videos and making myself too available. That my words and what I was saying, and it wasn't gaining me as much dinero by any means that I should be obtaining, nor was it making what I'm saying sound like it's valuable, despite the fact that anybody on here that's listening to me speak, I've heard it so many times, there's not too many people on the YouTubes that are saying anything this level. But I don't got that. I don't got the audience. I ain't got that currency for it. That should change. It will change. But the point is, it was just about like how often you make yourself accessible and available. And so if you become more like okay, there's a Burger King on every corner versus like no, there's only one shop and it's over there and it has the best shit. What do you want to do? Where'd you go? Yep. Yeah, I mean, in reality, Aaron, I think it's supposed to be two. And I think that might even be, I've even gone as far to say as I think there's some other things going on where that might not even should occur. That's a larger talk, and that has to do with a lot of the degradation of the planet, let's say, and the toxicity of the natural environment, and what would that look like in any other, like if we look into the wild, even the wild is still poisoned by the things we've been doing, so even they're not fully undomesticated, if you understand what I'm saying. Even the wild ones still have, but I wonder, even like go to the farthest out tribes, the farthest out animals, the most feral beings, what does that look like? That's an interesting from a health standpoint. Aaron, yours. Aaron, that's hilarious. What do I think would happen if I drank 5-year-old aged urine? I know what would happen. within the next few minutes, I would definitely have to evacuate my insides because it would be cleaning me out that much. I would get a rush of energy. It would probably I'd probably have more lucid dreams this evening. The last time I drank super aged, well, I mean, I've done it recently. But the last time I did it with the purpose of only drinking that, it was like I think it was like 8-year-old urine. And I drank it. And that evening, I got out of body. I had no idea to make that association. I wasn't expecting it. It was basically like, everything was just so clear and bright in my mind. And I just like jumped out of body. Because you're doing a number on the alkalinic level, because it goes to ammonia rich. You're doing a lot of things chemically to your body. And at the time, I was already pretty healthy with what I was consuming. Like right now, I don't know what it would do. I mean, I still have lucid dreams. I still occasionally, like, I can't. It's hard to tell if I'm having an astral projection or getting out of body. It's slightly different, but it's not as obvious to me because I'm not as cleansed and healthy as I should be. Oh yeah, yeah. I think Jim and Awake. I don't know what. I'm sure we talked about it afterwards, but there was a night that he did a bunch of aged urine. Like we did at the same time. We did a shot of aged urine, turpentine, tequila, oregano oil. That was super cleansative, and I took 2 shots of that during that evening. But we were also kind of drunk on here, so it didn't really play into how well I could remember my dream that night. But I didn't. I just flushed my skin out and kind of it cleansed me for sure. I felt fine the next day. Well, you wouldn't be able to stomach it because it would screw. You'd have. I mixed it. Like I can't just do a shot. I had to mix it with mix it with fresh. Got some bugs in it. hopefully hopefully it wasn't from in there, because you'll know the difference if it's gone bad. I'll tell you that much. There's a big difference between aged urine. The smell of it, if it's ammonia, it's fine. But there'll be a very off smell, because one time I put it in a jar, and the jar must have had bacteria in it, and it got something in there, and the smell was just awful. It was something out of, I don't even know. It was disgusting. Yeah. Yeah, for real. Have I think I have. I think I was surprised because usually whenever somebody calls themselves woke, I usually assume they're not at all woke. I think I have, but I'll check it out. YouTube's, yeah. I'll check it out. Hey, yeah. So let me know, because I'm gonna be on here for a little bit more. This is about like 2 hours, and I do have I got a couple messages I gotta take care of. What's everybody watching? What should I check out? Because I'm still kind of I'm so anti I'm so anti dinero at the moment, trying to stack a couple dollars so I can go out into the public sector. So if you guys want to Cash App, PayPal, all that, I appreciate it. So I'm kind of just kicking it at home, and it's in the description box beneath. TsarXen. What are you guys watching, and what should I be watching on Netflix? I got Netflix and Amazon and HBO Prime joint, or HBO whatever it is called, Max, HBO Max. And I started watching. I watched uh, the whole series, The Watchers. Watch that. It's not the movie. This is the series. It was awesome. I just started rewatching the I started rewatching Westworld. But I'm rewatching Rick and Morty. I mean, I just rewatch that all the time because it's hilarious, and I get to find some little fun little things that I missed. And so I'm watching some, was dipping through some old South Parks too. Anything good? Anything worth watching? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Z Nation, you got burned out on that? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hear you. I did like it. There was a part of it I really liked. I was into it, and then all the zombie ones, no matter how good it is, I did get through it though. No matter how good it is, it becomes like the other one that everybody was into, The Walking Dead. I was like, couldn't you just make this a little shorter? I get it. You got the zombie thing, and then relationship. I get it, but it was just too much. I was like, once they got to season 6, I think I was like, I mean, South Park is by far and away the funniest on TV ever. I mean, I think You Should Leave is hilarious, but that's not a cartoon. I think You Should Leave is amazing, and obviously Rick and Morty is amazing. Um, and email me the name of those two things, or else I'm gonna forget. No ID. Email me those. Oh, okay. Okay, I hear you. It's a re-upload of a lot of spiritual YouTubers and TikTokers. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Yeah, I don't know. I've always I try to walk. Well, no, actually, I fucking don't. I take that back. I'm not trying to walk some line between some spiritual teacher and I'm just doing whatever I'm doing. I get it that sometimes I might come across as very enlightened, intellectual, blah blah blah, but at the same time, like I'm not trying to put a show on for anybody. I don't really. It's not my goal to. I'm not here to entertain you. I mean, I am, but you know what I mean. Like it's not like I just don't plan it out. It's not. I'm not. You know, when people cut and paste and put their shit and they have their thing. This is the way they are, and here's the way they talk, and I can't stand that. I just find it so inauthentic. I mean, I could get why. I could see if someone wanted to chop up my videos and get rid of the stupid shit that I do and turn it into something. Go for it. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's that. I wouldn't mind seeing that, but coming at it from that way and always coming across as here's the fancy lighting and this is the way the world is and let's talk about something positive today. Oh well, behind the scenes, they're sitting there like you know, shooting shots of tequila, blowing transvestite hookers in the bathroom, snorting PCP off of a dog's dick. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, it's hardly. I know that nobody is exactly what you see on this thing when they're doing that. So I just avoid that and just go. You already get to see it. Figure it out. I can look like this and be more intelligent than most people too. I heard about that, but I haven't noticed, and maybe it's because I have Android, but I've heard this. But here's what I also heard, that they got rid of it, and their claim was that it was the mental health of the people that are the creators. But the thing is, you just can't see it out there. Like, I can see it, but it says that the creators can see it on their end whenever they click on their videos and look at their stats. The creators will be able to see it. So it's not for their mental health, because they just can't see it on the screen, and I know why that is. It's the same reason they're doing everything else they've been doing. And I'm not gonna speak on it because it's too obvious what it is. It's too obvious why they're doing it. Why aren't you allowed to like something and not like something? Maybe instead of like and not like, maybe they should have an agree and disagree button, or maybe some sort of gradient scale. Like I really totally think this is awesome, or yeah, this is nothing that I like at all, and I think there should be, you know what would be great is if there was some sort of slide, like if there was a way to level off comments based upon, like, if somebody else has a channel and they're saying something and I know what their thoughts and beliefs are, that if they have an antithesis to my what I'm saying, that I could that they have a channel that has viewers, then I go, okay, that we could see if that's a coherent no, versus somebody that just like clicking no and then type something like I ate bacon covered in lead sprinkles. I ate lead paint for breakfast. I mean, there should be a way to evaluate whether or not the people that are up or down voting you, or put it on the gradient scale like that. I like it. I don't mind. Maybe it's because I always had the luxury of having a pretty good, probably some of the best on the YouTubes. If you didn't know. I did try to find stats for a little while, because I was like, because I look at other people's videos and I was doing the math on it. I was like, you know, like the views to likes to dislikes ratio, and I was like, my shit is way better than most people's. And that was right around that time when I was starting to notice that my channel didn't get any more popular. And it was like, then everything got like shadow banned. Yeah, that was pretty sweet. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Well, check it out, everybody. It's been 2 hours and some minutes. Couple shows today. Hopefully, this few hours of hard goddamn work that I just put in here, that was enjoyable, and it was able to profit me at least a thank you, and perhaps some dollars, some currency, some cents. CashApp, PayPal, Venmo, in the box below. TsarXen. You can always holler at me through my Gmail, which is Theoluminous, spelled TheoLuminous. And there are only a few requirements in life. One is to take care of yourself, and the second is to take care of others. And the first one is Prime code, because if you don't take care of yourself, how could you possibly take care of anybody else? And to be yourself, because everybody else is already taken. So you do those things, and I think you'll be okay. It's good to see everybody, and I got a couple messages to answer, and a turkey to brine. And good to see everybody. I might do a show again later today. We'll see if a wild hair is growing up into my butthole. Other than that, stay well. Good to see you, No ID, Traveler, Airman, and Colin, and everybody else has been here. Stay well and be groovy, be funky, be cool, be weird. Be weird is important too. Yeah. Peace.